Hi, I'm George Pearson, and in this Photoshop Elements video, we'll be solving a common problem, and that's if you get your shadow into your photograph. If you enjoy this video, make sure you click that like button and, of course, share with your friends. So you don't miss any of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to learn a lot more, if not everything, about Photoshop Elements, take a look at my complete training titles, and you'll find those up there in the upper right-hand corner. All right, let's get to it. Whenever I have a picture like this that has something in it that I want to remove, in this case this shadow, I'll usually try using the content aware fill. It normally does a pretty good job, but it will need some fixing up and cleaning. First off, just take a look at the picture so you understand where things already have this kind of a weird line down here. Some big blobs in the shadows aren't going to be a problem. Real straight line up here, pretty straight line in there. And then the grass, notice the grass is real fine texture up here and it's real coarse texture down here. So there's a change in the texture of the grass as we get closer to the camera lens. Now the content aware fill is what's called a destructive fill. It's going to actually change the picture in here. So to prevent that from causing us any problems, come over to the background layer, drag that up to the new layer button just like that, and then hide your background. That way we can work on this copy, make any changes we want to, and if we mess things up, we can always go back to the original, which is right there saved as the background. Very important step right there when you're doing this kind of work, to always save your original to give you a clean copy to go back to easily. Okay, so here's our background copy. Let's now grab the polygonal lasso tool. I have mine set at a new selection and feathering at 5 pixels. A little bit of feathering here is good on this tool so you don't get any hard edges. Then I'll start at the top and then just do just a little selection right around the figure, pretty close to the figure. Don't go too far away. But you don't want to be right up against the edge either. Leave a little bit of space around that, and then back to the top, and right there completes that. We're now all set to go. Go up to Edit, come down to Fill Selection, and then where it says Use, make sure that this is set at Content Aware right there. And then choose OK. Now what happens is Photoshop Elements looks at the picture and then tries to grab stuff from the left and the right and fill in what you wanted to cover. And it did a pretty good job here. Let's just deselect that. Did a real nice job. Everything looks pretty good. A little bit of duplication happening down here. Here's that plant right there. Here's that same plant again here. Little red flower right there and little red flower over here. See, this kind of shape right in here is duplicated right in there. So you need to do a little bit of fixing down here. Looks okay in here. I think we can actually ignore that part. Looks fine. Looks okay here. We'll take a closer look at that. And of course, we're missing that fence piece here. We need to fix that fence. Also, you can kind of see where the outline is right up in there. Let's see what that's all about. So go over here to the zoom tool, and I'll just grab the slider here and zoom in a bit at that top section. And you can see what's happening on this bit. We actually have some blurring happening right along the edge of where that content aware fill works. So I need to fix that blurring, and also need to fill in this missing bit right here of that fence shadow. So we'll do that first. Go over to the clone stamp. There it is. I have mine set at 60, which is a pretty good size. You can see it right there. Pretty good size. I like being larger than I need and a little bit of a soft edge on that. It's just a soft edge brush over here so that it blends in a bit better as I'm making this adjustment. Okay, to use this tool, you hold the Alt key down and you get this little kind of target point right there. Click on where you want to copy from. Let go of the Alt key and you can then place that someplace else. Notice how you can see what I'm doing here. I can actually see what it is that I'm copying from. I can get my initial position. That is this button down here. It says Clone Overlay. That's what you're seeing there. That's what I like to use. Okay, so position that right there and then just pull to the right, and that clones that in. Now, I don't want that far because that's all that I had on the original picture, so I have to go back and do it again. back up, hold the Alt key down, click there, and then come back in here and fill in that last little bit. There we go. That fixes that one line. Let's now take care of this blurriness in here. I'm going to zoom in again just a bit using the zoom tool. You can see that better. There we are. Clone stamp tool. And I'll grab from over here, grab that, and just kind of tap that in a few spots. And just getting those areas where it's just a little bit blurry, you may want to grab a few times out here. Also notice it's kind of soft in here and it's a harder focus up here, so try to fix some of that soft focus by grabbing a few pieces. Now when you do this, you can get a problem when you begin to see some duplication happening, so you want to try to hide that as well by just choosing different spots and then overlapping where those are to help to hide that out. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. Maybe it's a little strange right in here. I'm just going to grab a bit of this grass right there and just drop that in to mask that area. Okay, let's scroll down. That looks pretty good in here. I think I can just leave that one alone. We'll scroll down some more. Now at this point we're getting in so close it's hard to see what's going on. So let's change our zoom and grab the slider and just kind of zoom back out again. We can now see this pretty well. There's a little bit of a strange bit of missing fence shadow right there. Let's fix that first. Back to the clone stamp tool, and I'll just grab right from here. That's an Alt and click and just pull that over and just fill it in just a little bit there. It kind of fills in that one little missing bit. And then down here, this plant is copied from over here. So I want to get this out of here. I'll just grab from this light stuff here, this kind of grassy stuff, and just come in on top of that. Little flower right there is matching that flower here. So same thing, I'll grab from here and bring a little bit of flower right in there. A little bit of that grass rather to cover that flower at that spot. That looks pretty good now. And I think at that point we're probably okay. And it's real easy, as you can see here, if you have this kind of nice random textured area to do this clone stamping technique and really hide these things. It works out very, very well on things like grassy areas. Okay, let's zoom back out to fill screen. And there we go. Nice little patch. So there it is. That's my technique. What I like to do on this is to use that content-aware fill first and then go back and clean it up with the clone stamp tool. Now as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing one more little problem I want to fix. Actually two problems. There's a kind of a dark spot here and this. That is copied right here, dark spot and that right there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of grass on top of this spot and that spot so we don't get that duplicated effect, which kind of gives away the technique that we just used in here. So again, clone stamp tool, grab from the grass, Alt key and click, and just a little bit of that stuff right there. Same thing here, Alt key and click, and a little bit right in there. Should be enough so that that no longer looks like that. Back to the zoom tool, fit screen, and there we go. That's nicely cleaned up. So there it is. That's how you can remove a shadow out of a photograph. Let's just take a look at the before and after on this one. I'll bring it up in size just a bit, make it a bit easier to see here. And our zoom control right there. That's pretty good. There's almost the whole picture, I think. There it is. That's the whole picture. And over here on the layers, I'm going to grab this background. So make a copy of the background layer just like that. Put that above our new layer. So there it is with the shadow, and there it is with the shadow removed. Okay, so there you go. That's how to use the combination of the content-aware fill and the clone stamp tool to remove objects from photographs. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found it useful. If you like this video, click on the like button below to let others know. You can click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. I'm frequently uploading new training videos. Don't forget to check out my website at howtogurus.com.